with the WBA champion. 27-4. He's got 12 knockouts. He is the WBA welterweight champion of the world, Yordenis Ugas.
Yordenis.
Gracias a todos los que están aquí. Ante todo, como ustedes saben siempre, quién soy yo, que no soy solamente un peleador, soy un peleador adentro, un peleador afuera, en donde quiera que me paro, siempre quiero pedir libertad para todos los presos políticos de mi país y el fin de la dictadura, y ese mensaje siempre es la lucha más grande que tengo en mi vida.
Well, thank you so much to everyone who's here, everyone who's watching on the live stream. And you know who I am by now. You know that I'm not just a fighter inside the ring, but also outside of it. And I want to advocate once again for the freedom of all the political prisoners in Cuba, as well as for the end of the dictatorship in my country.
También quiero darle las gracias a los latinos, especialmente a mi comunidad. Todos los cubanos están viendo esta pelea y muchos no han visto nunca una pelea de boxeo. La están viendo por mi mensaje, por la libertad que yo siempre tengo.
And I also want to thank all the Latin fans out there that are going to watch this fight, especially, my Cuban countrymen. I love you guys, and I want you guys to know that I always carry that message forward of freedom and happiness for my country.
Hablando de boxeo, estoy orgulloso de estar en esta pelea. Solamente respeto para Spence, para su equipo. Como he dicho, esto es dos de los mejores entrenadores del mundo, dos de los tres mejores pesos welter del mundo.
And, just boxing-wise, I want to say that I'm so excited for this fight. Nothing but respect for Spence. He's a great fighter. And this is not only going to be a clash between us, but also between two of the greatest trainers in the world. So you're not going to want to miss that either.
Gracias a todos los fans que van a venir aquí al estadio de Dallas. Spence prometió un knockout. Yo estoy prometiendo una gran victoria. Go, baby!
Well, so you're not going to want to miss this fight. You're going to want to come out. You're going to want to tune in. Spence promised a knockout. I promise a win. Don't miss it.
Gracias a todos.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Martin Bertier, of course, giving us the translation. Now, let me bring to the podium the unified welterweight champion of the world. He's known as The Truth. 27-0. 21 men have not made it to the final bell. That means 21 knockouts. He is the WBC, the IBF, welterweight champion of the world. He calls himself the Big Fish, Errol Spence Jr.
How everybody doing? I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. It's going to be action-packed on Saturday night. I'm looking to put on a great show and a great performance in front of my hometown. I know Ugas coming to fight. I know his coach. We got a so-called great game plan. But on Saturday night, I'm putting on a great show and another great performance. I'm looking forward to becoming another champion, adding the WBA to my title. So I have 3 belts. That means 1 more. So everybody make sure they tune in on Showtime PPV. Make sure you order. Or if you're in Dallas or you're even in Texas, come out to the AT&T Stadium. It's on the grandest stage in Texas. And like I said before, you not want to miss this. Come Saturday night.
Well said, champ. Like the champ, I used to live here in Dallas, so y'all stop texting me. I'm not giving out any tickets. You got to order it, Showtime pay-per-view, or make sure you get your tickets through SeatGeek.com. All right, let's talk about the fight. Champ, we'll start with the unified champ here. And Errol, it's one thing, though, to have a big fight. It's another thing to have it at home. Certainly brings some kind of pressure because you want to show off for the home folk. What does this one bring to you to be here in Dallas, Cowboy Stadium, and as you point out, to have 3 belts on the line?
For me, it's no pressure. For me, it's an honor. It's an honor to be fighting at home, especially on one of the grandest stages at the AT&T Stadium. Most people from their hometown, most boxers from anywhere is not able to be fighting in their home at their football stadium. So this is great for me. It's a great opportunity for me, and I welcome the challenge. And like I said, there's no pressure.
Yordenis was watching All Access, and your trainer, Ismail, said, hey, look, he looked at the footage, and the Errol Spence that he saw against Sean Porter was not the same guy who fought Danny Garcia. My question is, do you believe Errol Spence Jr. is still that same guy?
Bueno, Yordenis, Brian estaba viendo Showtime All Access, la gente también lo puede ver ahora los episodios por YouTube, y tu entrenador decía que Spence ya no es el mismo, que después del accidente y de lo que tuvo la lesión en el ojo, que él ya no era el mismo de antes. ¿Vos qué esperás de Spence? ¿Crees que está al 100%?
Bueno, pienso nosotros trabajamos en el campamento para un Spence 100%. Mi entrenador y yo hemos conversado. Él tiene una opinión. Él es el líder de mi entrenamiento. Él es el que sabe. Aún así, como digo, trabajamos en el campamento para un Spence 100%.
Ismail is wise. I have a wise trainer, somebody that has seen more boxing than most, but you know, we have different opinions, and I think that Spence is going to be 100%. I prepared for the best Spence possible. That's been my mindset throughout.
Errol asked you the same question. It's quite simple. Are you that same guy?
Well, Brian, I think you trying to start soon, cause you know how I am when the other camp say I can't do this, or I'm not this, and I'm not that, and I prove wrong every time. So I am the same guy. I feel like I'm better than that guy that fought Sean Porter or Danny Garcia.
Yordenis, Errol has maintained he's the big fish of the welterweight division. If he's the big fish, what is Yordenis Ugas?
Bueno, acá Errol Spence se cree que es lo más grande del peso welter. Entonces, si él es el más grande de la división, ¿qué sería Yordenis Ugas? Si él es el pez gordo del lugar, ¿qué es Yordenis?
Bueno, pienso que mucha gente conoce mi historia. Regresé de 15-3, regresé en 2016 y en los últimos años he sido uno de los mejores peleadores del deporte. Sí, si él es quien dice ser, yo soy uno de los mejores peleadores de deporte en los últimos años.
You know my story. I came back from being 15-3 back in 2016, and ever since then, I have established myself as part of the elite in this division. If he's the big fish, I belong in that same tank, not far behind, because I'm willing to swim with the big fishes, wherever.
He sido un peleador comprometido, un campeón dentro y fuera estos años.
Spence was.
Yo.
Well, I've been a compromise fighter, somebody that has been willing to do whatever it takes throughout the years to be where I am right now.
Any response?
Well, he better than me, because I would have said I'm going to fillet his ass, but, you know, we different.
Errol, we know how you fight. I know this man loves to mix it up. If this fight comes out and both of you guys are as aggressive as a number of people believe, do you think this fight goes the distance?
It might not. Like Ugas, he's a tough fighter. He's a guy that's he embraces the fight. He embraces the want to go toe-to-toe. You know, if he has to, he do anything to win. I'm that type guy. I'm the guy that if I have to go toe-to-toe, I will. If I got to stand there and fight, I will. So I think, you know, if we get in the clinch and we start fighting, then I don't think it's going to go 12 rounds.
Yordenis, we'll wrap it up with this. For all the people who'll be coming out here to Cowboys Stadium, buying this pay-per-view, you tell us why. Tell us why we need to watch Yordenis Ugas and Errol Spence Jr. get it on Saturday.
Para los miles que van a venir aquí al estadio de los Cowboys, los todavía más fanáticos que van a comprar el pay-per-view, ¿qué le podemos prometer que va a hacer Yordenis Ugas? ¿Qué podemos esperar de Yordenis Ugas este sábado por la noche?
Bueno, como he dicho, un peleador comprometido, con una gran historia, representando a todo un país, representando todo un mensaje, una nación. Y como le he dicho que tengo para la gente que me apoya y para mis fans, es sangre, sudor, esfuerzo y lágrimas, sábado en la noche.
I promise you blood, sweat, everything that I have to give for my country, for my fans, for everyone that's watching the pay-per-view. You're not going to be disappointed. We're going to put on a great show, and you're going to see the same Ugas that has put his heart and soul into boxing throughout the past couple of years into this fight that means everything to me.
Errol, Ugas says he's fighting for his country. He's hungry. What about Errol Spence Jr.? Tell us about your motivation that drives you for this fight.
I feel like everybody know my motivation. I'm fighting for my family, my close friends. I'm fighting for my city, the state of Texas. I'm putting on a great show and another great performance. It's my drive. I want to be the unified champion of the world. I want to hold 3 belts. I want to become the future undisputed welterweight champion of the world, the first to ever do it. So I have to finish him come Saturday night, and I'm put on another great show. Hope everybody come out, order on Showtime pay-per-view. I promise you don't want to miss this fight.
Folks, it is the main event of Showtime pay-per-view. I know there are members of the media here, a number of you who've got questions. Going to allow you guys to ask some questions. We just ask that you identify yourself. We have the microphones here, front and center.
Hey, man, Cameron Buford, voice of the fans. Congratulations on both of your this opportunity for both of you guys. Errol Spence, I want to ask you a question. You mentioned that you're a better fighter than the fighter who fought Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. In what ways are you a better fighter? To Ugas, your challenge of getting here. Talk about how that challenge of getting here to where you are today plays into your preparation for this fight. And thank you guys both.
Who you want to answer first?
You can answer.
Oh, I bet. I feel like I'm a better fighter with the Danny Garcia fight because, you know, I came off a car accident, you know, and I flew 40 feet in there and landed on concrete. So, of course, with time, I'm going to become a better fighter than a Danny Garcia fight. I mean, my body was still kind of banged up, and I said to the fight, wanted to fight. So I feel like I'm just a better fighter overall. I've been in the gym a lot longer and just been training harder and just been more focused than ever.
Errol, champ side right here. The mayor declared, oh, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, sorry. Could you please repeat the question about the challenges so I can ask it again?
My question was the challenges that he's endured in his lifetime. How does he lean on that, and how will he lean on that come Saturday for the fight?
Todos los desafíos, todas las cosas a las que te has tenido que sobreponer, no solo en los últimos años, sino que en tu vida, ¿cómo te motivan de cara a una pelea como la del sábado? ¿O es que ya están en el pasado y no las tenés en cuenta para esta pelea?
Bueno, ante todo, como siempre digo, soy un guerrero, un competidor, ganando campeonatos de los 6, de los 7 años, listo para noche como el sábado. He formado mi carácter a través de los años con todas las adversidades. Y esto es una noche más, una gran noche más, gracias a Dios.
I'm a warrior, I'm a competitor. I've been facing adversity ever since I was 6, 7 years old. I've been fighting since I was a little kid. This is nothing new to me. And Saturday night, it's going to be a great night, but no different than any other fight or any other night that I had to overcome throughout my boxing career.
My question is for Errol champ side. The mayor of Dallas declared Saturday, April 16th, as Errol Spence Jr. Day. Have you envisioned how you will spend those days to come, and are you aware that April 15th, 1947, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, so your day will always be the day after Jackie Robinson?
No, I ain't know that. Thanks for telling me. But, you know, I haven't thought about it, how I'm going to spend after the fight or anything or even the week leading up. It's been total focus on April 16th and me winning this fight. I feel like that's the only thing that matters to me. And, you know, I'm grateful to have that being my day. But the main goal, the main objective is the win come Saturday night.
Mi pregunta es para Ismael Salas, Willy Suárez, boxeo cubano. Ismael, esta es una de las pocas peleas en los últimos años que Yordenis tiene un campo de entrenamiento completo. para prepararse para un combate como este. ¿Marcó eso la diferencia en el campo de entrenamiento?
The question is whether, Yordenis, this is the first time in a long time where Yordenis has had a training camp that has been able to be completed from start to finish with no real last-minute calls or difficulties. Ismael, do you feel that this is the best training camp that Yordenis has had?
Por supuesto, hemos realizado varios campos de entrenamiento con diferentes situaciones, diferentes oponentes. Este es un campo más, es un día más en la oficina. Por supuesto, es una pelea donde vamos por los 3 títulos de la unificación. Es la pelea más grande que creo que se va a dar ahora en 147 libras. Y bueno, hemos hecho todos los planes necesarios.
Absolutely. This camp has been outstanding, and we have been able to prepare in the best way for what's going to be a huge fight, the biggest fight in the 147-pound division, unifying 3 belts. But we feel that the preparation that we have had with no real adversity whatsoever has been really, really great.
Keith Eidig from BoxingScene.com. My question is for Ugas. Yordenis, can you put into perspective how far you've come since where you were in 2015, out of boxing, coming off back-to-back losses, and now in an enormous event like this?
¿Podrías poner en perspectiva lo que significa para vos el estar aquí ahora, 7 años después de que casi tirás la toalla en el boxeo? ¿Cómo se siente eso comparado a donde estabas hace 7 años?
Sí, bien orgulloso cumpliendo mis sueños, que es pelear contra lo mejor de mi deporte y sobre todo dando un ejemplo a los peleadores jóvenes que no importa las cosas que pasen, con trabajo duro, dedicación, todo es posible. Tuve 2 años y medio fuera del deporte y hoy estoy aquí en la cima en una de las peleas más grandes del deporte.
I'm so happy. This is a dream come true. And I believe that I'm not only setting an inspiration for everybody here, I'm setting an example for young fighters everywhere to know that with hard work and dedication, you should never give up because dreams do come true and you can get to the top where even if people tell you that you're not going to get to the top, you can do it if you believe in yourself with enough hard work and dedication.
Errol, Mac Engel, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. In light of the injury that you sustained, that kind of a freak injury you sustained the last time, did you train any differently for this fight just to make sure that nothing happened that would guarantee that you'd actually get to fight this time?
No. Actually, the eye that got injured is a lot stronger than my other eye now because they put 2 straps on it, so it's like super secure. And nothing won't happen to it unless he get shot out or something, but I shouldn't say that. But nah, we didn't do anything different.
Errol, César Seda, decisión dividida. Hey, 21 knockouts. The last 3, you haven't been able to knock out them. Do you feel you need a statement knockout moving forward after this?
I feel like I don't need a knockout. I feel like fighters that go look for knockouts, that's how they end up looking bad or end up losing the fight. Because I've seen a lot of fighters, even after they get a knockdown, and then now they're just looking for the knockout, and then they don't get the knockout and they end up either losing the fight or not looking good. So for me, if a knockout come, I'm definitely going to take it. Well, if it don't come, I'm good with the victory too.
And if I could add a comment there, I don't think, and you certainly don't need me defending Errol, but I think what's interesting is once you get to that top tier level where you're having the best fight the best, the differences are very, very small. You don't usually see what happened last week when you've got 2 of the best in the division and it ends in a knockout. When you've got 2 super elite fighters like these, 2 Olympians, 2 skilled fighters, this fight is going to turn on little things. I'm not looking for a knockout, not because neither of them have power, but because these are 2 of the best in the division. And the differences between the 2 of them are very, very small. Like it's the little tiny things that will make a difference in who comes out ahead on Saturday night.
Errol, Jeff Kolb with Fox 4 in Dallas. I'm curious what these days leading up to a fight typically feel like for you. Would you get nerves earlier in your career? And if so, do you still get nerves?
Yeah, I definitely got nervous early in my career, especially when I first started. But now it's just this week we're just tapering off, leading up to it. Not training as hard, but still maintaining our peak level and staying focused, going over game plan with my coach, and making sure that I'm on a point 100%.
Hello, this is. Oh, go ahead. Okay. Hello, this is Salvador Rodriguez for ESPN Knockout. It should be a great fight. Both are quality champions. Do you feel that the winner this Saturday needs to be closer to be the undisputed? I mean, Crawford should be the next for the winner this Saturday. For both, please.
Go ahead, Errol.
Say it again. What you say?
Do you
I
believe
heard
that
you say something about.
Do you believe that the
closer
next
to
step
Crawford
for the winner will be or needs to be Terence Crawford for be the undisputed?
Definitely. I feel like that's the only fight that's supposed to happen. I mean, he's the only one that has the belt, unless you're gonna fight a title eliminator against somebody. So, I mean, that's the only person to fight to become undisputed champion of the world.
Bueno, la pregunta de Chava era sobre si crees que el ganador de esta pelea con 3 cinturones tendría que pelear contra Terence Crawford. Errol dice que es lo único que quedaría. ¿Vos qué pensás?
Sí, pienso igual. El ganador que continúe para pelear con el indiscutido, para los 4 cinturones contra Crawford. Esa siempre fue la idea mía. Pero bueno, yo pienso, esa pregunta es más para Spence, que le han hecho por muchos años. Yo estoy concentrado en mi pelea contra él el sábado.
I agree with Errol. The winner of this fight should go for the Undisputed Championship. It just makes too much sense. Having said that, I'm focused on this fight on Saturday. There is no skipping steps. In order to get to where you want to go, you have to first take care of Saturday night, and then whatever happens next, it's not up to me, really.
Champ Earl, Rick Mohammed, Brawler Sports Media. How is it this fight? Both of you guys are southpaws. Do you prefer fighting southpaws, or does it matter? Is it more tailor-made for you?
You talking to me? No. About Southpaw?
He's right-handed.
I'm right-handed.
Ugas is right-handed.
I thought he was southpaw.
No, he's right-handed.
You tripping, bro?
I thought I saw him switch up.
Nah, I don't switch, man. That's Terrence.
Good afternoon, Valencia King with Real Talk Sports. My question is for you, Earl. During the introduction, they talked about the importance of knowing who you are outside of the ring. For young athletes coming behind you, what advice would you give them to have an identity outside of their sport?
I would tell them just to stay focused, because a lot of times, especially that's why I feel like in high school they give you classes where they talk about peer pressure and friends and outside influences and other stuff like that, because a lot of time your friends don't have the same dreams that you have, or people from the outside don't have the same dreams you have. So I would tell them, just believe in yourself. If you have a dream, nurture your dream, take care of your dream, and grind it to keep your dream alive, because other people don't have your same interests, or they don't have the same stuff that you want. So make sure that whatever dream you have, just focus on yourself and focus on your dream and strive for it, and you'll be anything you want to be.
Last one.
Mac Engel again. Derek, this is for you. In your opinion, Errol looks pretty comfortable at the weight he's at right now. How much bigger do you think he could go and still be as effective as he is right now at this particular weight? Much more, or is this about it?
Well, I think he can go up to wherever he wants to go. I think he's very comfortable. We spar heavyweights on a consistent basis. That's one of the guys we spar with. We spar heavyweights all the time. So I think that he's very physical as a fighter. And he can fight at the weight. He can fight up to 160 or maybe even higher. I'm not saying that's what we're going to do. I'm just saying that's what he'd probably be comfortable at that because we're comfortable with being in the ring with bigger guys all the time.
Wait, one more.
Hey, Errol, until before we start Telegram, you fought a few times here. How comfortable are you fighting at A&T Stadium? And I think you've won more titles than the Cowboys have won here. Can you anything you can do to is this your house now? And anything you can do to rub off on the Cowboys?
Chill out now. But yeah, this is my house. This is my hometown. Love the Cowboys to death. Love the AT&T Stadium. I appreciate them giving me the hospitality and making this my home. And come Saturday night, I'm gonna win another championship for the Dallas Cowboys. So let's do it.
Folks, there you have it. Champion versus champion. Daring to be great. You hear them both say their ultimate goal is to be the undisputed welterweight champion of the world. It would be the first in his four-belt era. It all comes your way Saturday, Showtime, pay-per-view, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. That is 6 o'clock Pacific Time. And then the night starts even before that on Showtime Championship Boxing at 7 o'clock Eastern. That is 4 o'clock Pacific Time with 2 fights there. Do not miss it as you have champion versus champion in the main event. Want to thank everybody for coming out. Let's get a face-off.